Happy 4th of July, and welcome back to another episode of the I Can Do This All Day podcast. It is the 4th of July episode, and if you do not know, every 4th of July we celebrate a certain individual. America's ass, Captain America himself, Chris Evans, and that's us. I'm Dan, the part-time Avenger. That's Mark, the resident Jedi.
Hello there, America. And Chris Evans appreciation, running it back with Cap again. Excited to see if we get Cap back this year as a nice gift in 2026. But for now, we will be reviewing a movie that took place pre-Captain America, pre-Avengers Endgame, and super beefy Evans. And that is 2007's Sunshine.
Sunshine. We're not talking about Remember the Titans. We're talking about the Danny Boyle movie. The same Danny Boyle who did the 28 hours later, days later,
28 days later,
sure,
127 hours. Slumdog Millionaire. Oscar-winning director Danny Boyle.
So this movie, to give you a little bit of my origin with it, the only reason I watched this movie is because I was listening to Linkin Park on YouTube in college, and one of the music videos for Leave Out All the Rest came on, and I was like, oh, this is a weird music video, and it was actually just clips of the movie Sunshine to the Linkin Park song. And I thought it was pretty interesting, and I was like, I know that actor. I know that actor. There's a lot of actors that I know. This is a really good song that I like. I'm going to check this movie out. And that's how I accidentally stumbled upon 2007's Sunshine. What about you, Mark? What's your origin with this one?
You told me about it. I had no idea. We needed to keep the podcast tradition alive. Every 4th of July, Chris Evans gets our vote. And man, this is a Marvel star-studded affair. Like, I don't know if there's anybody on this cast that isn't like super A-list at this point. Like, I didn't even realize, like, I thought Cap was going to be the lead, and he was not.
Not even close to the lead. But
No.
an interesting character in that. So I think the only actor that I didn't necessarily know a whole lot of is Troy Garrity. And I think that's the only one, because he's the one that kind of takes over the captain. That he's Harvey, right? And so everyone else I think I knew, and I really enjoyed the movies that they've been in, or even some of the TV that they've been in. So it's interesting to see such a star-studded cast, but is it that surprising in the sense that Danny Boyle is the director and he was able to get all these people together? No, I don't know. Not that surprising.
Yeah.
But what were your expectations going in?
My expectation was it to be a Chris Evans led sci-fi movie. It's really funny. We've seen recently a sci-fi movie about saving the sun, if you will, right? With Project Hail Mary coming out this year. And when I told my wife I wanted to watch this and it started, she's like, "Are we just watching movies about the sun now? Like what's going on?" I'm like, it's a really weird coincidence that it took, almost 20 years for them to get back to let's save the sun. And I didn't even know to compare Project Hail Mary to this. Very different movies. Totally different movies. But like did not even realize. So I came into this, saw the opening credits, saw the cast, and was like, oh my God, all these people, if they knew when they made this movie how rich they would be now, like, woo.
Yeah, it's a solid cast. I think the only one that perhaps isn't rolling in the dough is going to be Troy Garrity. I think that's the only one, because I don't know, maybe, and no disrespect to Troy Garrity, because I thought he was actually very good in his role in this movie, but I mean, it's so stacked just from a Marvel perspective. You got so many people. Michelle Yeoh's in it from Shang-Chi, Hiroyuki Sanada from Endgame, Rose Byrne from the X-Men First Class movies, Benedict Wong as Wong in Doctor Strange, Evans as Captain America. So freaking good. Oh, and by the way, you've got Cillian Murphy, who just a fantastic actor. You all know him from what was that movie about the nuclear bomb?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
This
That's
is
right.
his.
That's right.
And that I did not know that Oppenheimer was Cillian Murphy's second movie as a bomb expert. Did not know that. Unaware.
Yeah. He gives the whole little premise as to what's happening in this movie at the beginning. Did you like that? That the fact that it was just a monologue at the beginning and then here you go, this is where we're at with the world? Or did you need to see a little bit more? Like, would you rather have seen life on Earth prior to the sun dying?
So I want to answer that two ways. One, that hit me way too fast. Like I turned the movie on, expected a little bit of slow moving, whatever. I was still like getting settled in my seat, and I'm like, fuck, they're giving away like heavy duty plot points. We need to rewind and turn on the subtitles. I'm an old man, and he was real wispy with the way he was talking. So I had to turn on subtitles and like actually read it. I would have appreciated a crawl, but maybe that's because I like Star Wars. But I didn't need to see Earth in the moment. I do think Project Hail Mary, the way that they told the story as he remembered it and gave you all that context, definitely left you with a different feel. But it, and it might be because we've watched so many space movies lately that I just like understood the stakes right away. Okay, it's a one-way mission. Y'all know this. You're doing it for the betterment of great. Let's go.
Yeah, they caught me by surprise too because it's been a long time since I've seen this movie, and so I see the little orange dot on the screen. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. It's like, oh shit, I should probably be listening. Like I think there's something that's going on right here, and I'm sure as shit. Yep, I had to rewind it myself, and so I've seen this movie. I want to say. I think it's 3 or 4 times that I've seen this movie. And I think it's from the Project Hail Mary podcast that I talked about the similarities. And then we're like, oh, there we go. We got our 4th of July movie. Evans is in it. Great. Sign us up.
Sold.
And yeah, it's for that, it was just kind of interesting to see that unfold and just the time away from this because I didn't remember that beginning. I was thinking, like, oh, am I gonna like this movie? Like, I think it might be like something where I haven't seen it in so long that I might view this in another perspective. So I'm interested to hear yours just because you are the first time viewer, but I'm also kind of interested in explaining mine as well.
So you want my plot summary is what you're
I would
saying?
I would love it.
I mean, when the light goes out in the sun, we drive a big bomb there and try and blow it up. But apparently the sun, even in its dim state, has hypnotic powers. So don't stare into the sun too much, kids. And really what the yeah, don't stare to in the sun too much, kids, because you'll go crazy and your skin will be all leathery and will peel off very easily like a baked potato skin. Yeah, that's it. That's the
End
message. There's
scene.
even a positive message. You know, wear the eclipse glasses so the sun doesn't infiltrate your mind.
So the whole plot of this is it's a mission to save humanity and Earth. And I think there should be more movies like this because it has a lot of stakes out there and you know now you have something to where it's like okay anyone can go now like it seriously anyone could die like I think you know didn't Interstellar also do the same thing with trying to save the sun or something like that.
Interstellar was so layered. I don't even remember what the main plot was. I just remember it was
I,
really
d- I
sad that
don't
Matthew
either.
McConaughey couldn't get back to his kids.
But I think it was something similar to where it's like maybe Earth was just becoming unsustainable. And so there's a reason why I like that movie is because like, yep, anyone can go, but also at the same time, it's just a deep, complex plot that maybe it could happen. I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you're listening, which we know you are, chime in. Is this something that can happen? Can the sun go out and would humanity be effed in the A? And would we be smart in trying to set up a space mission, a Hail Mary, if you will, to give a little bit of extra sunshine in this interstellar galaxy.
I mean, my wife gave the best explanation I could think of this movie. It was Armageddon for the sun.
Yeah, okay. I could buy that. That sounds good. Yeah. What did you think of the the mission parameters and the cast that was surrounding that mission? Did you find that believable? Did you find it odd that it's just kind of like this ragtag bunch of people that are pulling together, or what?
I didn't see them as ragtag. I saw
You're
them
yeah,
as
I
each
poor choice of
having
words.
a
It wasn't
yeah.
ragtag. Poor choice of words.
I mean, they each had a role, and you'd think that being together for that long under stress would cause, some of the challenges. And the other part of it, they weren't the A team. They were the B team. They're the backups, right? They sent the
Yeah.
best in the first one. So, I can believe it that there would be different professional dynamics. I would punch somebody in the face too if they were, irking me enough over so long and I was under stress, and there's just so much that can go wrong in that. So I liked that there was, you know, they gave a better explanation for the room with all the screens in this than they did in Project Hail Mary, the Earth room. Go take 5 hours of Earth or 2 hours of Earth room. Like
Yeah.
that was amazing.
It's
Like
a very good
yeah,
explanation. Like, you're gonna go bonkers out in space unless you have something to ground you. So I thought that was, like, a genius way
yeah.
to incorporate that in.
Project Hail Mary did not talk about that at all.
Yeah.
It just talked about how Ryan Gosling liked beach.
I'm going to the room. I'm just gonna go to
Yeah.
a room. That's all.
But it was definitely a great way to introduce the psychological side of a movie that turned out to be more psychological than I thought it was going to be when I turned it on, right? And they interluded to different things. They talked deeply, but yeah, I didn't mind the the dynamic of the crew and the fact that they were under this pressure because a mission had already failed. They didn't know why. Would you go back and try to do the exact same thing if a bunch of people fell off the face of the universe and you didn't know why?
I don't know. Maybe.
Mm.
I I
Dan's
don't
like,
I
"I
don't know.
wouldn't go."
Yeah, I don't think I would. Honestly, I don't think I would. I would enjoy the remaining time that I have, and if I get cold, everyone's getting cold with me. Let's start a fire. Let's try to keep this going as long as we
Mm.
can. But yeah, I think kind of going back to the overall pressure of the crew, right? Like, you've got different personalities, different roles, different occupations, all on this rescue mission for Earth. I mean, everyone is an expert in their fields, or second place expert in their field, right? And I think that was like another thing that until I've seen this movie, I've never really seen anything like that to where, besides like the Magnificent Seven or something like that, to where you've got people that are, they're experts in their craft to a certain degree, and then they come together for a greater good of the cause. But this is like, oh, we're just trying to save the Earth. We need the best here, the best here, the best here. And like, oh, yeah, we need some people to pilot some stuff too. Let's go and save the Earth.
I mean, you get the best of the best in a lot of movies, like the best of the best. I mean, you even get that in Biodome. They had somebody to fix
Yeah, I'm
everything
not
in the Biodome.
not buying that. Not
Mm.
buying that at all. But I just thought it was interesting because they're also such different personalities and different type of backgrounds. So it's kind of cool to be able to see, like, okay, if Earth as a planet was effed in the A, you would get not just everyone is American, you would get like different ethnicities, people of different backgrounds, different qualifications, different ages. And so that's where I was like, yeah, this is badass. This is a world effort to try and save the Earth, not just Team USA. Let's go get some oil rig drillers and like let's go ahead and save something that way from from an Armageddon
That
perspective.
that the premise of that film is so awesome. It's
The
so good.
explanation,
I love Armageddon.
I
Armageddon is
haven't
so good.
haven't seen it. Haven't seen it.
It holds up.
I've seen the Aerosmith video enough times to know what happens in the movie.
Oh, it holds
So,
up, man. It is so great. Oh,
but Yeah, I think like the different dialogue and also just the tension that you have. Like you have Evans as Mace, this hard ass that is just military to the T. Like, I've got my mission. Nothing is going to deviate from this mission. And that's what we have to do. Even if everyone has to, like, he's like Peacemaker. Like, I don't care who has to die for all these people to be saved. I'm gonna make it happen. Like that's what it is. Like he's such a hard ass when it comes to that. But there's something that you can respect about that because you need that black or white cut and dry type of personality to make sure that this mission is as successful as it possibly can be to save the earth. And so that's where I thought like, okay, cool. Evans is this and he does a very good job at it. He plays a prick expertly.
Yeah, no, and he was really handy about the ship fixing things, which was nice.
Some would say he had a cool hand
Oh,
on that, but
oh.
for anyone who's seen the movie, you get what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's the
Thumbs
rest of the
up, buddy.
cast. Yeah, the rest of the cast also just lends their expertise and just good acting. This is something where I have, as we've gone throughout this podcast, we've unfortunately reviewed a lot of movies that just doesn't have good acting.
That's not
And this is a
unfortunate. That was
movie.
awesome.
Well, yeah, depends on how you, from a certain point of view. But
Ah,
overall, I think, that the acting is very solid in this. What are your thoughts on the cast and the acting?
I mean, you knew right when you saw the cast that what they're capable of, right? And that's the part of this that made this like very watchable. There's not a bad performance, and it let, I think, the plot unfold with maximum impact because of the emotions that are able to be drawn by the cast. It could have got campy real fast,
Sure.
and I don't think it did.
Some argue that it did get campy in the third act because it does a hard left turn going from science fiction to horror. So tell me your
Yeah.
thoughts about that.
Well, first I want to talk about the one thing that stuck out to me as kind of over the top right away, and I literally, both me and my wife when we watched this made full on Austin Powers references. What the fuck was that spacesuit? They love gold. It was
I
obviously Swedish. It's a Swedish made spacesuit.
Yeah. Mike Myers produced this movie. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's somebody. But the tech aside, they alluded a little bit to the fact that the sun will drive you crazy. And the while it does take kind of a crazy horror turn at the end, it is a movie that sets the stage for the vacuum of space being very hard on the gray matter, right? And yeah, the third act when they get to Icarus 1, like they make a joke about it, the dust being human skin, and then they just double down on nope, totally is. and they really talk about or show, the how though the dysfunction of the crew that we get to know is, you know, dysfunction and it could be borderline bad. It does bring to violence. Nobody goes crazy and kills everybody else. Like none of them y'all did sabotage.
Did they would they have not done that? Or given the amount of time and given the amount of proximity in terms of how close they are to the sun, would it have just happened anyways? Like if that crew were in the same exact position, would they have gone nuts? I think so. I mean, look at Harvey.
No, no, no. It
Harvey
was
was
the
ready to like off people just to be able to get back to the ship.
I think that you've got to remember that if it wasn't for Benedict Wong's
Miscalculation or
miscalculation,
just neglect of not
yeah,
doing something.
yeah, bad math, poor orchestration, it would have been this wouldn't have even been a problem per se. Because they would have had the captain,
Maybe.
they would have been at full strength,
Let me
and
run this by you. Hold on. So wait, let me run this by you. So like Icarus 1 gets there. They're the best of the best, right? Icarus One. And they get that close and then it's sabotaged. So who's to say that if they didn't get there sooner? And I think this is where it kind of plays into it because oh gosh, Hiroyuki Sanada's character's name, the captain,
Yeah, Captain.
um, he makes a comment that like, okay, we got to XYZ point in space 7 days ahead of schedule. So that's catching them by surprise. They're already on edge of getting on each other's nerves because they're getting past they're coming up to the dead zone. And that's
Uh-huh.
why Evans's character goes after Cillian Murphy because like I didn't get a chance to send my Skype message back to my family or whatever it was, whatever message he was sending back. And they're at edge because they're out in space. There's nothing else. They've been out there for a long time. I don't think that they would have been immune to all going a little crazy or one of them going a little crazy and sabotaging the mission. I think that's just the human nature of it. If given more time, and given the circumstances, I think it still would have played out the same way with that same crew in the Icarus too.
Is it because Cliff Curtis was super into the sun?
I mean, he chose to go out staring into the sun. So type what type of, and I mean this in the nicest way, what type of lunacy does someone have to just go out that way? Because there's a difference between wanting to appreciate the beauty of it, which I think he does in that
Mhm.
first scene where he's talking about lowering the filters down and he sees like he's amazed at how bright it is. But I think there is an obsession at the end to where he's like, to me, that's not I'm accepting my fate. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out this way. I'm just gonna stare at this sun. I don't care what happens. Like I think that's kind of what it was. Like there was a degree of just going nuts that's why he chose to end it that way.
Well, I mean, he chose to end it that way because he gave himself up for the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Like, he knew
Yeah.
he wasn't getting
And
back, and
then
he wanted to look into the sun anyway, and the computer
he
limited
could
him,
have
and he
he could have
yeah.
fought for it though. He could have let Harvey stay back and do it, but he didn't trust him to. So I think there's the nobility of him doing that, but also there's a little bit of like, wait a second, I can stay back. Like I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna stare at the sun a little bit. Like I think he might have just
Mhm.
been like on that edge, teetering for lunacy right there.
Yeah, I don't I mean, but if they woulda had the full gamut, the captain was the one that was keeping him kinda sane,
Sure.
you know? So,
Sure.
without leadership, the whole thing went sideways,
Yeah.
for sure.
And Harvey definitely was not a leader. He was
No.
I think he's but I think he gets a bad rap. I think he was just trying to do the best that he could do and use his position as such to make sure that like I want to live. I'm going back. Give me that damn suit. I'm the captain. And yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah, no, his judgment was compromised, to be sure, and, he paid the price, which was one of the coolest space deaths ever, which I wanted to bring up. Was that the coolest space death we've seen?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't answer that right now. I'm going to say it's pretty cool, but at the same time, I don't know if it's the coolest.
I mean, better than anything we've seen in let's just touch the major space franchises.
I mean, aliens getting a thing just bursting out of your chest is pretty freaking sweet.
I'm not talking about all the deaths in Aliens, but deaths due to exposure of space.
Sure. Sure.
The Alien one wasn't cool. Even Endgame wasn't as cool when Ebony Maw got sucked out into space. He just got frozen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like Star Wars, I don't think anybody dies from just being in space.
Not Leia. Not Leia Organa, that's for
No,
sure.
no, not Leia. That was good. Star Trek, like they just kind of die, like nothing wild
Yeah.
happens, no disembodiments. Trying to think of other space franchises.
The only one that I thought was close was, and he didn't die, was Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Quill, when he just starts
Yeah,
to like bubble up a little bit. So,
yeah,
but he didn't die. So I guess that does qualify.
yeah. But the shattering and just the gore splats and stuff was pretty like solid like, ooh, that's this is not a kids movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the
What did you
idea
think
that you
just like
could survive in the vacuum of space without by just holding your breath seemed like a little bit of a stretch to me.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure that there's definitely some inaccuracies of that because it's just too darn cold
I
out
mean, do we
there.
gotta reach out to our guy Neil, friend of the podcast?
Yeah, Neil, can you just give me a call after the podcast? I just want to verify a few things. So
Yeah.
thanks, Neil. Well, I'll see you at Thanksgiving. But I want to go back to the cast just because I just love every single person in this cast, including Mark Strong. Like everyone's just so darn good at the roles that they play. The one that kind of surprised me was on this rewatch because I did not like her in the my initial viewings of this movie, but Rose Byrne, Cassie, that character, I think it's because I like Rose Byrne a whole lot. That's the reason why I like her now because I've seen her in Neighbors, Neighbors 2, and like the X-Men First Class movies. It's just
I mean, wait,
I've become more
You can't talk about Rose Byrne and not talk about Get Him to the Greek.
I can because I fell asleep halfway through that movie.
The
But
soundtrack to Get Him to the Greek and Rose Byrne songs. Yes.
Rose Byrne and Bridesmaids, she's just so freaking good. And this time you get to see her a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more of a wallflower, if you will. But I mean, she still has a prominent role in it, but I'm used to her being one of the main focal points of everything. So it's kind of interesting to see her, just like Evans, having like a few steps back of the main billing for everything. But
Fun
yeah,
Rose Byrne fact. Did you know Rose Byrne's in Bluey?
is she really?
Yep.
I
She's
could dig that.
Brandy.
Is she? Okay. Brandy, that saucy tart of a dog. It's
The
ridiculous.
dog.
That's right. You've turned into the I Can Do This all day podcast where there is sexualizing of kids' cartoons on here for sure. It's
No.
mostly just because we like the
No.
actresses. What?
Not
No,
at all.
that's not what we're doing.
No.
I thought we were in the trust tree with the nest. No?
No. No.
All right.
Don't we're not the Epstein podcast. Stop it.
But yeah, just a really good cast for this. And God, can't talk enough about him, but I'm going to have to just because we have to get through this movie review. But anything else about the visuals? I mean, did it kind of meet your level of your expectation of what space would look like in a mission like that?
I was biased because I've watched more recent space movies that are visually amazing, like Project Hail Mary, but it was close. Like it was good. It was good. Like nothing about the visuals turned me off to it. Nothing that would say this is a almost 20-year-old movie. For a
Okay.
movie
Well,
that's
that's good.
that
I'm glad.
old, it the only thing that got me was the gold member suit. But for a
Okay.
20-year-old movie, it played well. It played well.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah.
Did the visuals get to you?
You know what? I didn't think that deep into it until watching it again. Like I thought, there's times where you watch a movie and it's like, oh yeah, that's fine. You don't think twice about it, right? And then now with it being 2026, almost 20 years later, I was thinking like, huh, I'm wondering how dated this movie is going to look visually. And not once did I think like, yep, that's 2007. I didn't have any issues with the wardrobe or anything like that. I thought everything worked out just fine.
I don't know.
The only
One of Evan's looks was very the V-neck over the t-shirt was very not another teen movie there for a minute. But other than that, I agree, like 99% was very aligned. Very good.
What did you think of the overall ending of the movie?
He was the Rocket Man or the Star Man, whatever you want to say, right? But I liked the twist because there were
Mm,
things that didn't make sense as you were getting to the reveal on the twist, right? When you were when and that's when I really started to be like, huh, because I didn't think that the captain from one would still be alive,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be the case. But when he opened the drawer of the scalpel, the completely useless spot, like rotating knives. Like, we need something that'll kill people. Obviously, a scalpel that rotates. What would you use a scalpel that rotates for? I don't know, but we need it for space. It's so when you're rotating in zero gravity, you can make a straight cut. Like, what? There are two missing, and you're just like, that's not weird. Okay, I guess those broke. Like, whatever. And then they get to Benedict Wong, and you think that, he killed himself. But then you get there. Then you understand, like, it twists it well. So I liked that. And I liked that he was kind of a little Jason-y, right? A little just unstoppable, immovable force.
It's funny that you say that because I was almost like just certain that you were gonna be like, "What the hell was that last act about?" Because
No.
that's kinda like the arguing point about this movie is like, it was really good for the first 2 acts, then it goes fucking off the rails for the 3rd one, and I was thinking like, "Okay, I can see where people are coming from with that," but the fact that you can kind of mix and bend genres in the same movie and have it
Mhm.
still be effective it's really well done, so that's great for Danny Boyle's to his credit. That was where it's like, okay, there's little things that are being said in the movie, and if you're not paying attention to it, you're just thinking it's like, okay, well, these are just stupid throwaway lines. But like, no, every little thing mattered as to like, hey, the vegetation's just fine in this place. Running water, everything, like there shouldn't be any issues. Well, actually, there is an issue. This mission was sabotaged. By who? We don't know. And it's like then it's just like the finger pointing as to like what could have happened, why did this happen? And so is it the crew just going crazy? Maybe you're just thinking like everyone's just freaking paranoid. Like, yeah, it's they're all pointing fingers at each other or they're trying to deduce as to who the person is, but it becomes like who done it. It becomes a little bit of horror, and it still has its science fiction aspect to it as well. So it's I thought that was pretty awesome, and on this viewing, I found more of a respect for it because of the acting, because of the small nuances, like some of the what some would say throwaway dialogue may be, but it's not. I think it all matters.
Yeah, I didn't think about that from, you had to get all of it because I was watching it with the captions on, so I was reading it most of the time too, or was, just following in that way. So it kept me a smidge more engaged, just a smidge. But the movie was good and kept me engaged as it is. But yeah, you asked if it was enough lead up into the movie or if I liked that they just got at it with the monologue. Really, the lead up was everything before they get to Icarus 2. Because the real heart of the movie is the sabotage and the whodunit part from the accident
Yeah,
perspective. Because we know when the captain dies and they lose out on they lose the radio and the plants and all that. That's a direct. All those are consequences of them finding this signal. And like we've seen the space madness trope before. So I wasn't surprised by it, but it was just I didn't expect this movie to be a mystery movie and have that whodunit piece to it, right? I expected it to be more of a straight sci-fi. So it definitely bends genres, and I think in a really great way, to your point. But it was because I didn't watch a trailer for this, because I didn't read anything about it. It was a solid, just like, huh, it took you on a journey. And that's what you want from a space movie, a journey.
did anything Martha you?
The majority of it didn't. I thought that Rose Byrne's character, as shit starts to go down, was a little like a little less useful than one would like her to have been.
Little wallflowery, if you
Yeah,
will.
I don't know where she went during all that, but the other thing that kind of killed me on it is Evans. in the beginning, when he even puts his hand in the coolant for a second, is in immense pain. And then he takes a bath in it and can get to like fixing 3 computers there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he had nerve damage from the unrealistic space ejection walk or whatever, but that was a technical element that stuck out to me as weird. But overall, it didn't take me out of the movie. It just showed the sacrifice
Yeah.
involved. But yeah, no, I thought it was very I thought it was good in the way that they were all going to die anyway. They just died interesting, if you will. I guess the weird arm skin part was weird. That where
Okay.
where where he's holding him up and his arm doesn't fall off, but all the skin comes off of
Yeah.
his arm. And you want to know what I yelled at my wife when it happened, and she was like, "What the heck?" I just went, "Like a glove," because that's what it looked like.
That's funny. Yeah, nothing really Martha me about this movie. I would say just from I don't like a selfish perspective to where I don't like to see the actors I like die in movies per se. So I'd say
Okay.
like, oh man, it was a bummer that Evans died. But I wouldn't say it marred me. If anything, it just proved the point that he was the soldier that was just going to go ahead and do whatever he could do to get the mission done. And if it's self-sacrifice, so be it. I'm sure he didn't want to die, but he did what he had to do to give the best odds of success for the mission. But Mark, I got a question for you. As we wrap up this patriotic 4th of July episode, that it's a Chris Evans appreciation episode, which we didn't get a chance to appreciate him as much as we normally do.
There was one great Evans reference in this that nobody got, but man, Evans really loves freezing in movies. Like Cap gonna cap, baby, back in the ice with Evans.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Maybe this was just a prequel to that. Maybe it was just that in the multiverse. This is another version of Steve Rogers. Mace is just
No,
his
in the
alter ego.
multiverse, this is Steve Rogers' son. This happened
There we
post
go.
Doomsday.
There
Doomsday?
we go.
Secret War? Question mark?
Uh, when it comes to the movie Sunshine by Danny Boyle, along with starring with Chris Evans on top of everyone else, can you do this all day?
I mean, let's be honest. I love me some Evans. I love me some Evans, and I love me some Evans that makes me think of older Evans movies because it's an older Evans. He's got the Johnny Storm hair. He gives himself eventually the Johnny Storm haircut. He's got some of the OG 90s looks from Not Another Teen Movie. And the rest of the cast is so good in this. It is so good that you forget all the other iconic roles that they've played. And you really see this movie for what it is. But I've recently talked about what I Can Do This All Day means to me. And what it means to me is, am I going to revisit this? Am I going to turn this on because it's something I'm going to enjoy and rewatch a bunch? If I use the measurement that I use for this, not the quality of the acting, not the quality of the story, but like for me, the rewatchability, do I need this on video? No, I can't do it all day because the twist is ruined, which was a big part of it. And like my I Can Do This All Day movies normally are ones that either make me think real deep or like make me like or just a feel good positive thing. And like, I use movies as a way to improve my mood. I think this would just make me sad if I watched it a lot. Like, and then I'd like ruin my cat. I'd get cataracts from staring in the sun. But this is enough about me. This isn't all about me. This is about us. And that leaves you to answer the question that I just did with probably way too many words. When it comes to 2020 or 2007's Sunshine, can you do this all day? Recommending Avenger?
The acting, great. The cast, great. The overall set design and the visuals, great. I don't see it aging one bit. The premise and the plot is just fantastic. I love myself some doom and gloom. And if you're on a mission to save the world that is looking pretty bleak, I'm down for that. I'm in. Danny Boyle did a great job in directing it, and I think with this time around, with the twist, even though I knew it was coming, I'm at a point now to where on my rewatches, I'm picking up little things here and there to either appreciate more or maybe it's poking some holes into some things. And this one, I'm appreciating it more. So I just thought the writing was well done. So yeah, I can do this all day. Evans is in it. Hiroyuki Sanada's in it. Michelle Yeoh. God, there's so many people. Rose Byrne, who I absolutely love. Cliff Curtis is just an underappreciated actor. I love him and anything that I see. So yeah, can do it all day. No problem. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just a good movie with a wonderful and expertly done twist and bend of the genres all in the same movie.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was good. It just didn't. It's not in my thing. But I would
Fair enough.
recommend it. Like I would talk to people about it. I would not say it's a terrible movie. It's just this
Well,
this this question is the hardest question on our podcast because it just comes down to taste. And it defines our hypocrisy.
yeah, but it tastes good, everyone. It tastes good. So
It's
that
like a
wraps it up.
I was gonna say it's like a piece of apple pie with, cheddar cheese on it, nothing but American.
That's gross as fuck. So do not eat that. I do not endorse that
Oh, that's a
whatsoever.
4th of July
Not
tradition.
miss
Put it on the
4th of July,
Barbie, baby.
4th of July, my ass. Everyone, enjoy your goddamn rights as an American and your freedoms. We will talk to you next time. I'm Dan, the part-time Avenger. That's Mark, the resident Jedi.
Go out, don't blow off any fingers on Chris Evans Day, but let us know what you thought of this movie or what your favorite Evans movie is. Hit us up in the chat or all the socials at I Can Do This All Day podcast. Like and subscribe for our next episodes and go back and listen to our Project Hail Mary and see what we think about space movies. There's also some aliens in the past as well. We got some good back episodes for while you're stuck in traffic getting home from the fireworks.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.